Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!
Red hot American night. Shake your body dry on the coastline. Red hot American night. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone dry. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone.
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!
Red hot American night. Shake your body dry on the coastline. Red hot American night. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone dry. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone dry. Red hot American night. Red hot American night. Red hot American night. Drank a bottom bone dry.
Let's go!
We're live with the music.
They can hear us.
They can hear us. You want them to see
Visuals
us?
in three,
Yes.
two. Hey, there we are. It's fight week, and we're here in studio, and I'm fucking stoked. That's all I got to say right now. Cheers, everybody. We're here. We're gonna go through every single fight, and in studio with us, we've got no surprise here. Jack Congdon, Miguel Sevasin, the Lakeville MMA boys. They're gonna be giving their picks. So they're not related to us at Cage Titans. They're not going to be in the common. Well, Miguel's going to be doing the Mother F'n Minute, but the Hot Wing Hot Take is in their hands tonight to make picks as we go through fight by fight from the first amateur fight all the way to the main event of Cage Titans 68, closing out the show 2024, almost a wrap. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio. It's your first time down here, both of you, right?
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah, cool to be here. Stoked for Saturday. You know, we got a few teammates on here that are fighting. So it's going to be a banger of a night. Obviously, I'm rolling with my teammates, so full bias disclosure right there, right? We know it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be an awesome card. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and if we're wrong, we're not buying you drinks either. So that's I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't even come up to me because I'm not buying you a drink.
They're not Big Mike DeSilva this time around, but you gotta throw some kind of shade. They got an autograph or something.
All right. You want an autograph or a picture? That's fine. Dude.
Right. They give me a nut tap.
Yeah. What?
A nut tap.
No.
I'll buy you a drink.
You guys are like,
honey, because one pee touch. Who wants that as a prize?
No.
They
They get the nut tap me.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not taking that.
But either way, Big Jack, 50 Cal has come through. He said you can see him for a beer. So there you go. And I think that's a double-edged sword because they have to be not intimidated by you to come up and ask you for a beer.
They just won. They're pretty jacked up.
All right, cool. And for those who don't know, every fight week we do the Hot Wing Hot Take, and we always say Andy and I, obviously we represent Cage Titans. So these picks are for fun, and they're no way representation of our opinions on these fights. That's why we always bring in guests to give their picks. So if you don't like that they picked against you, don't blame us. If you're a family member and they're like, hey, your promotion picked against you, they are a representation of themselves. And as Jack said, big bias because he has teammates fighting. The fun part about it is if you win, they pick against you, you go see them and they'll buy you a beer. Except for Miguel, you can tap him in the nuts. Quick cup check, real quick. But Jack will be a gentleman, even though he didn't go with that nickname. But he will buy you.
Can't get away from it, even still.
Well, he'll be a gentleman. It just I feel like it flows with you, Jack.
Yeah, 50 calories.
They both work.
Who came up with 50 cal? Did we talk about this?
No, I hate to admit it, but I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what spurred it. I really don't remember. But it popped into my head one day, brought it up to some of the guys at the gym, and everybody was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So then, gave it to Andy. We rolled with it, and it went good. Everybody liked it.
Yeah.
It's got the alliteration. I think it's fitting, precision, stopping power, right?
All right.
Which I would say
think
describes
that
my
part.
style.
I
Yeah.
think that deep into it, but I mean, I
Yeah.
think you're,
Yeah.
Primo.
So I like it. So
It's funny because when Andy does the tail of the tape, then he turns it over to me and I kind of spruce it up, get it ready for production. And I saw the nickname in it, and I was like, "Did you put this in there, or did this get approved?" And he goes, "No, he gave it to me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I'll usually I kind of just once over everything, and I saw that you had a nickname, and I'm like, I thought he doesn't want any nicknames.
I felt like I couldn't get away from the conversation, so I had to get it over with.
Yeah, right. But here we are having a conversation about it. Miguel, before we go on to the fights, who came up with your nickname?
Justin Simmons came up with that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I remember it.
It does flow.
Yeah, it does. And honestly, I really like it, and it's creative. Like nobody else has it. Like I like the ones that's like Israel Adesanya, or a style bender. You know what I mean? Like everyone else says like something so basic. Like yeah, you know what I mean? I don't want that. So it's
No one's mother effing.
No one's mother effing.
I mean, well, everybody technically has F the mother because if they have a kid, like.
Well, I'm not looking that deep into it.
Jack route of thinking.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all.
Precision and all that stuff. You're not that thoughtful, as Jack.
No.
Quite the opposite.
You're saying it like it is.
Yeah, it's true. Like you should see it when we like watch our fights. Like he like studies his guy. Like he'll like, freeze the camera. He's like, all right. So at 2 minutes, he like did a kick right here, and the right hand come over. Me, I'm just like, throw me in there, see what fucking happens.
If you've seen a Miguel fight, the prep is the same. Block punch with my face.
Wow. All right. Well,
I've been to face and throw one back.
I've been Bob Ableton.
Yeah, but I think we talked about that because you guys both fought on the same card,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys were both on episode of Table Titans. We were like, "How was the preparation?" You're like, "Oh, I watched film. I did this, that, and the other thing." And Miguel's like, "I didn't watch any film." I just
What's
get
film?
in there. Yeah. I mean, technically, what is film? Because nowadays, is there really film? It's all MP. I mean, like the word.
Oh,
like,
you mean
like
like the
film,
actual
like
film?
film, like
Oh, okay.
watching like
Yeah.
film, like a VCR or recording, like
Right, it's YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's now.
I guess technically it's no film anymore. So yeah.
We were talking about Andy. Speaking of interesting segue, he was a projection booth guy, so he did have to deal with film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember breaking down film, splicing them together, and then all digital.
He was a
Broke it all
projection
down.
booth. But anyway, you didn't come here to talk about this.
No.
Shit.
Came here to
We
talk
came
about
to
violence.
So before we jump on down the fight card, Jack, without going over all of them, but give us one fight. You can't say all three of your teammates. Give us one fight that you, before we get to that, you just know that you're looking forward to most.
Yeah, without a doubt, Marty and Trissell. Yeah. Been training with Marty this camp. He's in a great headspace, physically looking great, mentally great, super sharp, both stand up and on the ground. He's been super motivated. He's really intent on this being his retirement fight. And I just know he's going to send that off in the right way. And Trissell is a good matchup too. He poses some dangers. So it's a good fight. I can't wait for that.
That's definitely a fight that once it came together, I knew a lot of people looking forward to. What about you, Miguel?
I could say my teammates, but I'll say Jake Kasky versus Fred Allen. I'm a big fan of Jake Kasky, so I think all his fights are very entertaining. And the guys from New England Cartel are really good. So, I think that'd be a great fight to watch as closes the undercard.
All right, cool. Some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the wings are here. without further ado, it is time to start the Hot Wing Hot Take. So just for anybody that's new, once again, these picks are solely their picks, no representation of Cage Titans. If they pick against you and you happen to win your fight, your first beer, find Jack in the crowd and he'll buy you your first beer.
You get to hit Miguel in the nuts, though.
You get the cup check Miguel. Actually, Miguel's actually going to be doing the Mother F'n Minute in the commentary team, so he won't be accessible. But go find Jack, and Jack will get you first beer if he happens.
Make his voice sound funny.
Yeah, let's say now you just tell them where I am so they can come check
And
me.
along with their picks, they will eat a wing and give their pick. And here's a secret. He came up with the idea as we were coming on the show. I already had the idea. There is a couple secret extra hot wings on it.
No way. That's so funny.
Russian roulette at the wings.
So
We're gonna play with 30 wings and 2 of them could cause complete
there's
destruction.
more than there could be more.
I
than
think I can already see one right now. I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know,
lie.
man. I don't know.
You don't know which is which?
That's
all y'all. I ain't fucking with that.
we were joking around before we went on, and I think actually at the beginning of the show you said there's a YouTube. What was it? It was a show.
Yeah. What's it called?
Hot wings. That's
Hot
all it is.
wings. Oh,
It
okay.
shows hot wings, yeah.
So he's like, we should do that, and it's like I already told the team upstairs to come up with a secret concoction on the hottest wing you can possibly make.
Oh God.
I can
So,
smell it.
I can. Hot wing roulette, Willie.
It's pungent.
Yes. We figured out what Willie thinks is, which I'm excited about. I thought it was an old training partner, Willie, but we found out it's Willie Alfano from Connor's MMA. He fought for Cage Titans.
I fought Jeff Joy way back
Yeah,
when. This is
so-
back in the old Bradford Inn days.
Yep. So Willie Alfano, what Willie
What's
thinks.
good,
He's
Willie Alfano?
always adding to the show. So without further ado, our first fight of the night. This is the order he's at BTT now, so perfect. He's moving around in the world of jiu-jitsu, and I think he has a match coming up. So we're gonna have him on in the next week or two, talk about his match and give some insight because he's a longtime contributor to the show. But this is the fight order as of right now. This can change, so don't hold us to it. But as of right now, this is going to be the final fight order for this weekend, barring any changes. And just some cleanup. There was 3 fight card changes over the weekend, just to keep you guys up to date. We already announced Henry Howe out of New England Submission will be taking the place of who did he step in for? Will Portillo. Will Portillo is out. Henry Howe is in, and he's taking on Matt Martinez. Then Dan Shapiro tore his MCL, so he is out in his bout against Jacobo Apito. In is John Medina out of Team Tahino Blood. His debut was against Joe Poirier, super tough debut. He's back to look to try to get in the win column, taking this fight on a week's notice. So John Medina taking on Jacobo Apito. And not yet announced, we just solidified this morning. Santi Munez is out with a knee injury, unfortunately. So his bout with Jake Callender, he is out of his bout with Jake Callender. In steps Hunter Brum out of Regiment Training Center. He's making not only his Cage Titans debut, he's making his amateur debut, taking on Jake Callender. And to step in and take on a 2-0 guy in your debut, that speaks volumes. I know Hunter Brown has been doing the rounds in the jiu-jitsu circuit. I don't know. You guys know him? Out of Regiment?
No.
So he's a he's a skilled jiu-jitsu player. Stepping
Oh,
to
Hunter? Yeah, no, I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually on his soccer team. We did some soccer indoor league in Somerset. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So he's making his debut and he's taking on Jake Callender, which is
Cool.
And Aaron Hughes actually in the comments says Hunter is a freaking stud. So I mean that speaks volumes, seeing him taking on a 2-0 guy. So those are 3 fight shakeups. But our first fight of the night going down this Saturday night, September 14th, Iger Zaltzman out of New England Submission fighting, taking on the debuting Connor Holt out of Savory BJJ, who happens to be a teammate of you guys. Give us your thoughts. And actually, would it be fair to make you give us your thoughts and break it down? Or Andy, do you want to give any insight on
Got
the
Igor Zaltzman, who already showcased the skills. You fought Colin Silva, if I'm not mistaken, right? His
Yes.
first fight out? Yeah, and it was a barn burner of a fight. So he's already showcased his toughness, his skills, and he's, I think, only like 18, 19 years old. So really staying active in his youth. And Connor Holt, you never know what you're going to get, but when you're training at Savory BJJ under Danny Savory, you know you're coming with some legendary jiu-jitsu skills in preparation for this debut, which I'm sure you guys are going to be able to provide some insight that I have no idea about. But I'm always excited to watch these young bucks make their debuts, and been stoked to see Igor come back because he showed a lot of promise in that early fight.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm gonna say my pick is obviously my teammate Connor. I mean, I'm not gonna get into details of why I think that stuff because I don't want to tell anybody his game plan, but I think he's more than ready for a guy like Igor. Igor is tough. I saw his last fight, and he was doing really well. So it'd be a good fight for Connor for his debut, but I think Connor comes with the win.
Nice. You gotta eat your wing.
Oh yeah, I'm talking. I wasn't.
All right, while you're getting your wing ready, go ahead, Jack. Give us here a little. I'm assuming.
Yeah. I'm gonna say pretty much the same thing. Been training with Connor for a little bit now. He's been putting in the work. Been trying to get on the last couple of cards, really.
Yeah.
So he's been in camp on the grind for a while now. Well-rounded guy, and I believe he'll find a way to pull it out. Like Miguel said, we don't want to give out too much, but we're rolling with Connor.
So I'm gonna leave it there for that fight. Typically, when you give you a choice, we'd like to give you how you see the fight, like TKO. But on this one, obviously, we will. If they're fight teammates, we will exclude how you think the fight will get finished. So you're both going with Connor Holt, no surprise. Igor, you might get 2 bears if you pull this one off. I love this comment by Rob Pico. And Andy, you want to do the voice? Go ahead, give me a voice of an amateur fighter coming up to Jack. Can you see it? I'll go big screen.
No, I still can't.
Act it out for us, Andy.
What?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Jack. I'm an enemy fighter you picked against me. Where's my? And then Jack picks him up. I must break you. And then the kid pisses his pants. No beer for you. And then Jack goes, yeah. Is that what you want to do? That's what I want. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sitting there like acting out. I'm like, I gotta read.
I thought you had it a little bit better. Excuse me.
No beer for you. Jack talks like that all of a sudden.
I dig it. All right, cool. All right, here we go. So our first pick, hot pick, is in the books. Rob Pico said, yes, sir. Thank you guys for giving that breakdown. So that's in the books. Connor Holt, you're both going with Connor Holt in his matchup against Igor Zaltzman, our first fight of the night.
Well, Igor is not old enough to drink a beer, so I think you might be.
Might have to buy him
Nice.
soda.
Yeah,
Soda here at the back.
Capri Sun. Give him a Capri Sun.
Candy bar.
Yeah. M&M's. Hey, we can give him some Halloween candy, leftover Halloween candy. All right, next up, we got 2 guys fighting for their first win of their careers. They came up short in their debuts. Both come in with identical 0-1 records. They're hoping to break into that win column. We got Cam Davis out of Daniel Gracie Plymouth, and he will be taking on Jared Sweet out of Dexter MMA. This is the first of 3 guys fighting out of Dexter MMA.
Cam Davis with a quick turnaround. He fought. Who did he fight? Eric Wynn? He fought Eric Wynn last time out. Yeah, that was scrappy kid who was durable and tough, and now wanting to jump back in on a quick turnaround. And Jared Sweet hasn't fought for us. No,
he made his debut at Reality.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. But I feel like I've seen the name thrown around a few times, but we know that Dexter's coming with an entourage this time around. Zane and Kasky fighting later in the night. So just be prepared for utter savagery when this kid graces the Cage Titans cage. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know Jared Sweet. He's had his name in a few times. He made his debut at Reality. 18-year-old kid. Obviously training with those guys at Dexter in May. I think Billy Goss training for an upcoming fight. You got Kasky in the gym. We had Kasky on the show. The vibes must be great inside that gym. They're all kind of like, firing on all cylinders ever since Billy Goss got into the UFC. So I expect some big things out of him. As for Cam Davis, Local Lobo's been a legend here in New England for a long time. He's always got a slew of stable mates ready to go. And, Cam came up short, but I just think that, he had a super tough fight in Eric Wynn. So he's kind of back right away, and he wants to show off what he has. firefighter, I believe in Plymouth as well. So shout out to the firefighters that will be coming out that night supporting Cam Davis. But Cam Davis out of Daniel Gracie taking on Jared Sweet out of Dex MMA.
So I have Cam Davis by second round. Rear naked choke. I know Dexter MMA guys are super tough, ready to go, but I think this kid's hungry. He wants it. He's just gonna go out there, take him out, not get him out in the first because the Dexter guys are just too tough for that. But in the second round, I think he'll get him late in the second round, get him on the ground, choke him out. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
There we go.
Yeah, I was going to take Davis as well. I remember seeing this fight against Wynn, and Wynn's good, man. And Davis had a good fight against him. It's tough when, you haven't seen a guy like Jared Sweet, like he hasn't fought at Cage Titans before. So they don't really have anything on him. So, yeah, for that reason. And, Cam Davis having a good fight against a very good guy. I'm going to roll with Davis, too. I'll say decision.
All right. Decision.
Just Dexter guys are always tough.
Yeah, that's a great call. Definitely some good guys. So there we go. You guys are opposites, but you're going with the same guys.
So far.
He's copying me.
He's copying you. All right. Maybe we'll go. You want us to go to Jack next for the first one? All right. We'll go to Jack next.
I will say this was good, but I don't think I landed on the roulette, but it was already pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So you guys have an idea what one you think is the hottest?
Oh yeah, and
I think I can tell visually.
look at that
Well,
one.
that's kind of obvious.
That one's screaming at me.
I don't think that's it.
Oh, he doesn't think that's it.
I didn't see him grab it though. I didn't see him grab it.
But the
I'll get it
Buffalo wings here have enough kick in and of themselves, but you guys have to
Shout
square
out
the
to Goose
plates.
Bar and Grill.
Yeah, big shout out.
There we go. So our
I
third
ain't
fight of
touching
the
that
night.
shit tonight, though.
All right.
Nope.
So our third fight of the night, we got at the bantamweight division. We mentioned this earlier in the show. This is a last minute hop in. Henry Howe out of New England Submission Fighting out in Western Mass is making his debut, taking on 2-2 Matt Martinez out of City of Tong. Pikachu's got a ton of experience. Henry actually called in. Henry last week while we were on air, if you remember, Andy, texted saying he would take the fight with Matt Martinez. And at that point in time, I hadn't even been able to get to Matt Martinez because we were on air. Then Henry called into the show and we were like, Henry, hold up. We haven't even told your Matt Martinez yet that you're in, and even told him you were fighting. Because I honestly thought, like, an 0-0 is not going to take a fight. He asked to get on the card. And I even said to him, I said, listen, I know this is kind of a steep debut against a 2-2, so I'll throw it at you. I don't expect you to take it. And when he took it, I hadn't even thrown it to Matt Martinez yet. So he took it while we were on air. Then he called into the show. We had him on the show talking about his training. But as we told him, we're like, listen, don't say who you could be potentially fighting because he hasn't even accepted or he doesn't even know that you're on the table yet. So that's how quickly that fight came together. But here we are. Henry Howe out of New England Submission taking on Matt Martinez. And what do you got?
Nothing to go on with Henry Howe other than the credibility you can give to the wherewithal to take this fight, the balls to take this fight on short notice against somebody who's got 4 fights already, who has looked like a seasoned striker, who's well-versed. And Matt Martinez, the kid showed an extremely well-versed skill set through and through in all 4 of his performances, win, lose, or draw. And
he's had some multi performances.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, Pikachu's bringing all the skill sets to the table, and Howe just not deterred by them whatsoever, accepting of the short notice opportunity to make his amateur debut. So that's all we can go on is a debutant not batting an eye for a split second against someone with 4 well battle-tested fights already under his belt.
Not only 4 MMA fights, as we take a quick peek at his record off screen. He's had 3 amateur Muay Thai fights too. So,
and they've all gone to decision, which is just cage time. And he's a fast-moving, high-octane, high-volume striker. That's a lot of that's a
7 combined fights, all decisions.
Insanely considerable amount of experience to overcome.
Jack, this guy probably has more cage time than you. All those first-round finishes you got in your career.
Yeah,
No,
right?
that maths out.
Probably pretty close.
No, I think that maths out. I honestly, I think it maths
out. The
out.
first round.
Once in my amateur career, once in the pro career.
So he could be close.
Yeah.
and I said this last week when Henry called in, it's kind of like it could go one of two ways when you have a guy making his debut and a guy like when you're trying to pick a guy to fight against. On one hand, if I gave Henry an 0-0, it's like, all right, cool. Well, he has no experience like me, but you don't know what you're getting. You could be getting the next Miguel Sevasin or next Jack Congdon, some killer. The good news, so you don't know what you're getting if you fight another 0-0. So that's kind of a disadvantage. Then you look at a guy taking a fight like this, and you're like, oh, he's at a disadvantage. This guy's had so much cage time. It's like, or you're at an advantage because now you have 7 fights worth of decisions to watch film on and try to pick up on. So it's kind of how you look at it. It's interesting.
Yeah. And this is New England submission fighting out of Amherst?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I actually used to train there when I was doing college at UMass Amherst. Yeah. And that's a great school. He's going to be very well rounded coming out of there.
He trained. Igor was already on the card, so Henry and there's one other student that trains there. They were all trying to get on the card, and it didn't because I had no 0-0s for them, and that's why Henry was training like he was going to fight, but I had no 0-0s for him, and then this fell through. But I'm glad you know this school. Yeah,
it's a great school. Like I said, he's going to get striking, grappling. They've got really, really good high-level jiu-jitsu there for sure. Not knowing anything about him, who knows what his game plan is going to be, like you said. He might have seen something that he thinks from Matt that he could exploit where, Matt's just going to have to go in there and flow. Yeah.
So there.
Is that your pick?
Well, with that being said, it's tough for me to pick a guy that I have no knowledge on other than the school. You know what I mean? I haven't been there in years. So with that being said, and having seen Matt Martinez fight a bunch of times at Cage Titans, I've got to roll with the guy that has more experience and that I've seen is really well-rounded and can go into deep waters like that.
All right, so you go.
There is a very real adrenaline dump for that first fight too. That is a big factor.
So how do you see Matt Martinez pulling it out? He's had 7 fights, all decisions.
Yeah, I'll say decision.
All right, I'm not trying to sway you.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I guess one other piece of the puzzle I should put out there. Maybe I should have given it to you. I don't think it would sway you. But Matt Martinez was originally scheduled to fight at flyweight. This fight is at bantamweight. So yeah, he's coming up to bantamweight to meet Henry. So Henry will have a little bit of size.
Yeah. I wonder how much Martinez cuts. These are things that we just don't know.
So just one little piece of the puzzle. I don't want to leave out any information for everybody.
I'm gonna go with the new guy Henry.
Oh,
split.
Yeah,
I got Henry winning.
I'm gonna say Matt Martinez is really tough, and I think I'm gonna say decision.
All right,
but
decision.
I have faith in this kid.
Did you just take the?
Yeah.
Did you just take the saucy one?
Yeah.
You dove in. You went for it.
Yeah, I thought I'd do it next.
All right.
It's not it.
It's not it?
It's not the bullet.
Oh,
No.
Oh shit! That makes it interesting.
I'll take that one instead.
It's not the bullet.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Miguel just starts.
I honestly, I thought that was going to be it too.
I think that I don't know.
Or he could be
It's
putting a poker
just
face
saucy.
on.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not lying.
No, all right. I don't think Jack would be a liar. Jack doesn't strike me as a liar.
No, not at all.
All right.
We gotta get one of those hot wing sauces then, the real one.
There it goes. Yeah, you liar.
No.
You liar.
I just got a lot of it. It is a little more hot because there's a lot of it. But I'm gonna get through it.
2 seconds later, huh?
It's not the one. Maybe he has a cough. Never coughed before. All right. Well, next up, our 4th fight of the night. This one definitely has got people talking.
Hell yes.
Carter Whitty out of Regiment Training Center. That body kick felt around the world.
Body shot.
Body punch.
Left hook.
Body punch fell around the world. Picked up his first win with that. That was a devastating shot. Taking on Dalton English out of Jacob Bone School Bone MMA. His highlight reel was that super kick, that Shawn Michaels super kick. So Carter Whitty, Dalton English, Andy, you've been in the commentary booth for all their fights.
Yeah, these guys are both coming off a highlight reel performances of inordinate nature, and they're gonna take that momentum and swing for the fences in there as these two young combatants meet. Carter Whitty's a dog at dogs out of Fall River, and Dizzy Dalton English out of upstate New York. He's a rodeo riding crazy person in his own right. So this is just a barn burner waiting to happen, and I can't fucking wait.
For those who did miss it when we had Dalton English's debut, he is literally a rodeo bull rider, like bullfighter, right? That was what it was.
Craziness.
Yeah, so he dodges bulls, and then he's fighting them that part-time. So let's go. What do you got? Last card of the year.
I'm going to take.
Hold on. Now that you had a time to digest, was that the bull? You think that might have been the one?
No, it would have been
You're
hot.
wiping your nose.
It was a lot of sauce, but I don't think it was the harder sauce, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take Carter Whitty.
He's sweating.
I know. Yeah,
It's-
he's really choking up.
No, it's definitely getting to me a little bit, but it wasn't the one.
All right.
But, yeah, I'm going to take Carter Whitty. I really like that dig to the body. I'm going to go with decision because Dalton English had a good performance too. But I'm going to take Carter. I'm going to go the local regiment guy. Am I turning red?
Yeah.
You got to take
He's just like, oh, it's not the one.
You know, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I went for it. Yeah. I've got this attached.
It's just a lot of sauce.
I love the poker face.
Oh, I'm fucking
He tried to
crying.
power through.
Oh.
That's funny.
Oh, I got a tear. Oh, shit. There's sauce on that. Oh,
Oh, shit.
Zach Baker said you're his boys. Zach Congdon.
So I trained with both of them.
Yeah.
Dalton I only trained with one time. Came down to Lozon's and I got some sparring in with them.
That's awesome.
Aaron's gonna be bad, but I'm gonna go with Dalton. Aaron Hughes is gonna text me and be like, "What is wrong with you?"
All
But
right, how are you picking them?
I'm gonna say third round TKO.
Ooh, TKO.
Yeah. Which one do you want me to grab?
You're gonna get the saucy one. Get that saucy
that
one.
one's got a lot of sauce
You
there.
gotta get the saucy one. You gotta
if
even
you
the
guys
scales.
just tuned in and wonder why we're laughing, we secretly put
Russian
maybe
roulette.
one or two or maybe three crazy hot, stupid hot, we call it here at Coops, mixed in with the regular buffalo wings. So we think
That's why Jack's sweating.
Jack. If you missed about a minute ago when we said, "Was that the one, Jack?" He goes, "It's hot, but it's not the one." And then a couple minutes later, he's sweating, wiping his nose.
Breathing out of
We
his
think
mouth.
he's gotten one of them, but now let's see, Miguel. I don't think that's it.
No,
I want to say it's that one.
that's what I thought. But he
Just
said
go
it's this
for it.
one.
Eat that one next.
might be the
It's all right.
color.
We're here all night.
Yeah, let's go, Miguel. So
We're
you're
here for
going
pain.
right as we're speaking. You're getting a text from Aaron Hughes right now.
Probably.
Yep. All right. Next up. So we'll preface this with Anthony King is a teammate of yours, correct? So
Yeah.
Anthony King, is it AJ? They call him AJ? AJ King out of the KO gym at 155, taking on Noah Shlama, 1-0 out of Santos BJJ. What I do know is Matt Santos doesn't have a ton of fighters come out of his school, but when he does, they're usually pretty legit. The last one that comes off the top of my head was Rob Brown as a heavyweight amateur, was our amateur champion.
Oh, they also
That's
had
who else? Am I missing somebody?
Vega.
Oh yeah, Vega. Vega was out of their gym as well. I think he might have been a transplant, but either way, he was out of Santos. But they're just one of those gyms that don't have a ton of fighters come out of it. You don't see them on every card, but when you do, it's kind of one that you kind of circle and like, I don't see that name often. They don't just throw their fighters in. As for Anthony King, representing KO Gym, I know I've seen him at Lozon's. I know he's at KO Gym. I've seen him training a lot. I know he had a pretty high, I think he was a 100-win wrestler in high
It's
school.
130.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noah Shlama, from what I hear, is also a beast wrestler. I know he cross-trained at Sid Yatong a little bit as well. So, I mean, we got two beast wrestlers going at it. And they're pretty opposite of their body size again. Anthony's big. He looks big.
He's big, dude.
And Noah's just like short and compact. Like he's short, stocky, jacked up dude too. So it's gonna be an interesting fight. I think that this is one of those ones that you're probably like, who are these guys? Again, somebody's making his debut in Noah. He's had one fight, but you don't really know the gym names either. Because like usually when we have debuts, it's like, oh, well, he's out of City of Tongue. I've heard of City of Tongue. Oh, he's a debut out of Lakeville. Oh, I know the guys from Lakeville. You can kind of associate who they like, maybe what they would be like. These are two gyms that really don't. I think this might be the first ever like KO gym guy, right? You guys both cross train there, but the first one,
I don't know if Lamont Payne repped KO
when
he
Lamont
fought.
Payne
Probably.
fought at, no, he repped Bobby Diaz's gym at that time. Boneyard, I think it was Boneyard.
Oh,
but they weren't. It was like when he fought for us. It was before they still had Bobby Diaz's gym.
Okay.
So I don't think he was technically KO gym. I'd have to look it up, but either way, one of the first guys representing KO gym. But yeah, Noah Shlama taking on Anthony King.
I mean,
it's starting to get sweat up there too.
No, I don't. It's hot. It's just hot down here.
It is hot. Put the AC on in the middle of the winter.
I gotta go with my teammate Anthony King.
We don't ask you how you're going to
because
that wouldn't be fair because you might be given a game plan.
Right.
Let me guess, Jack.
AJ's a beast, like you said, beast wrestler. He can strike too, super explosive. He's going to be ready for anybody's wrestling, I think.
Tough as nails.
Yeah. And he's a guy that, like, though it's his first fight, I'll also preface, like you guys know, like, he was going to fight on our last card. He's been trying to get on a card. And it's interesting because he's never said no to anybody. Like, even like last card, I gave him like 5 names. It was like, I got this guy. Oh, that guy said no. Next, this guy. Oh, no. With this guy, I'll go up a weight class. Fine. Like, it was anything he can do. He just wants to fight.
Yeah, he's game.
Yeah.
He's game.
And it, oddly enough, I think a big deterrent is how well he did in wrestling. Like, as people look him up, they're like, holy shit, this kid was pretty legit.
Right.
Wrestling is usually the scariest base for an amateur fighter. They're like, oh, he wrestled? Yeah, I don't want to fight a guy like that.
I think he faced Jaden Curley too. Like,
he did?
wrestling, yeah.
Oh, shit. But with that being said, Noah's a guy that probably could rival his wrestling prowess because he has a pretty deep wrestling base as well. So it should be a fun fight.
Yeah, it would be.
All right. You guys both went with Anthony King, to no surprise. Next up, I talked about this at the beginning of the show. Jake Callender was originally scheduled to take on Sandy Muniz. It was 2-0 Jake Callender out of City of Tonks. Sandy Muniz is out. We're hoping to reschedule that for maybe January. Hunter Broad is in out of Regiment Training Center. He is making his amateur debut. We talked about this when we mentioned Henry Howe taking on a guy with like Matt Martinez with so much more experience. We're in a similar situation here, a debut taking on an undefeated fighter. But you got film on this undefeated fighter, Jake Callender. And Hunter is no stranger to competition. He's been training for a long time. He's been competing on the jiu-jitsu circuit, so competition is he's no stranger to that. So
and they're not putting anybody out that isn't ready at a regiment training center. The boys from Fall River are showing up prepared and ready to throw
4 guys
down.
on this card too.
Yeah, so they're coming strapped. So they're always making the debut against someone with a lot of experience and a couple of devastating finishes already. And Jacob Callender, that's just a testament to the attitude that regiment brings to the cage. So very stoked for that matchup. Kudos to Brum for taking this on short notice. And you said you knew Brum?
Yeah, I played soccer with him in Somerset on the same soccer team. So, I mean, he's a big dude. He's a little bit taller than me and he's fighting at 150. Like,
I was going to bring that other piece up. As I go back through Jake Callender's his record, he fought one of your teammates, Xavier, but at 140. So Jake's kind of like a 35er / 45er, but this fight
huge for that weight though.
So he was fighting at 45. He's going up to 150. So as you mentioned, the size of Hunter, that could be a factor in this fight because Callender's a guy who's fought at
smaller
40,
guys, yeah.
And eventually will fight at 35. And now he's kind of going up 10 pounds to fight this guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hunter on this. I'm gonna say first round submission.
Ooh, let's go. Your first round pick.
I'm going to take Callender. again, it's just tough to go with a guy that you don't have anything on, and that I don't know personally. I've never trained with him.
You didn't play soccer with him.
No.
No.
Did you play soccer?
No.
Football.
No, I was a football guy.
Shocking.
And Callendor's good. You know, I didn't know he fought that light because I thought he looked pretty big for like when he was up against X. So I think he'll fill out well. I'm gonna say second round sub just because he subbed X.
All right.
You know.
Perfect. All right. So there you go. We got 3 fights so far that you guys are on opposite sides, and we got 1, 2, 3 fights that you guys are on the same side. So there we go.
Sounds like he's walking home.
Or he's gonna kick your ass and take you. You'll be walking home.
The heck?
You're not gonna be able to walk after all these taps because you got so many wrong.
And those who are just tuning in, once again, I'd like to always remind these are our guests. These represent their picks, no affiliation with Cage Titans. And if they pick against you and you pull out the win, come see Jack and he'll buy you your first beer.
Or kick Miguel in the nuts.
All right, next up, we got a banger of a fight. A lot of experience here. We got Ruben Batar, undefeated out of Back to Basics gym, Jeff Perez's gym, taking on Eric Zane out of Dexter MMA. Speaking of wrestling, Zane has a pretty extensive background in wrestling. Ruben's been the wrestling killer in his 2 fights so far, submitting, everybody he's fought so far. And you sat cage side for them.
Yeah, they're both young gentlemen who are willing to put on a grueling pace, who are gonna be versed wherever the fight goes. Circle it. If you don't know, now you know. This is one of those exciting as hell amateur fights between 2 camps of nothing but gangsters. So don't blink.
Yeah. All right, boys.
I'm gonna go with Ruben. His transitions, like when he's on his back and stuff like that, for jiu-jitsu, I think it's been really good. I'm gonna say second round submission. Part of me wants to say first round, but I'm gonna say second. So
all right, second round of sub. Jack's still back on the last pick wing.
Yeah, that's nothing now compared to.
So it was the bullet.
I don't know. I don't know if it was just more sauce or if it was. It feels like it might have been.
He's sticking with the more sauce. More sauce doesn't make it hotter.
Of course it does.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's the flavor.
Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna take Batar too. Tough when I don't think I've seen Zane fight. Dexter is obviously always very tough, but I commentated on one of Batar's fights, and yeah, he's just got really nice jiu-jitsu, really nice submissions, and he's long too. Like he could pose some problems in the striking too. So I'm gonna say the same thing. I think second round sub. Yeah, he hit some what was it? Some crazy darts or something that we were like, does he have the angle on it?
Yep.
And somehow he still hit it.
Yep.
yeah.
It was really, really
He's
impressive.
got the build for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Long
we
wins.
saw Zane with the TKO in the second round against Devin Menard
Yep.
in Triforce earlier this year.
Oh
Yep.
wow,
That's where we
that's
saw it.
impressive.
That was a great fight too.
Aaron Hughes said there's going to be some sick grappling exchanges in this
I
fight.
think so too.
All right, so you guys stuck together. Batar, second round sub, you picked the same prediction as well.
Yeah.
Well, while we have Aaron Hughes, it's fitting that we're going to Regiment Training Center for our 8th fight of the night. Jake Arruda. This is somebody Hughes has been asking me to get a fight for a while now. Making his debut, Jake Arruda out of the Regiment Training Center, taking on 1-0 Aiden Giuliani out of South Shore Sport Fighting. Aiden, we saw at our last Cage Titans event, pick up the win. He's right back at it, taking on Jake Arruda. Andy, what do you got on those guys?
Listen, this is the second debuting amateur at a regiment. You know that they've been preparing for a while. So Arruda is going to be a lot echoed with the Hunter Brum story of, that they're coming ready at a Fall River. And we've seen Aiden Giuliani already show poise in his young career. He's a real young kid, but just the way he was composed on the ground early on in the fight and getting that finish.
12.
Yeah,
Naked choke.
it was very impressive. So the kid's certainly dangerous and jumping in to keep the activity up to prove he's the real deal.
Yeah, man. Aaron, he was obviously cheering for his boy Jake. I like to get caught up on this climate too. I feel like this is one of those Amy cards where we're seeing many future champions contenders. I mean, that's definitely one of these cards. This could be two years down the line. We're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
3-4 of these guys fought on the same card. But yeah, Jake Aruda, Redmond Training Center, taking out Aiden Giuliani at South Shore Sport Fighting. Who's up?
I'm gonna say Aiden, and I'm not gonna Giuliani. Aiden Giuliani.
Miguel.
I don't know much about Jake. I don't know anything about Jake actually. So it's tough to go with that.
You're gonna get 2 texts from Aaron saying you're picking against his boys.
He actually texted me. He said I'm really dreamy, so
okay.
we're on good terms right now.
Yeah. Not now.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Aiden. I'm gonna say 3rd round. South Shore guys like to go on the ground, so submission.
3rd round sub for Aiden Giuliani. It's gotta think.
Yeah. Giuliani had a good fight against Hune.
Giuliani fought Nick Brown.
Who am I thinking of? It was definitely a South Shore guy that fought Hune in his first fight, right? I think
You're talking about Damon Galati.
Galati. Oh, so
Giuliani Galati. Same school, too.
Yeah.
Different Italian name that starts with a G. Yeah.
All right. So I guess then I don't remember seeing Giuliani fight.
All right.
So I'm taking a guess.
You either go with Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel, you picked Giuliani.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go opposite. I'll take.
All right.
Wow.
All right, cool. What round? Or you have any prediction?
Decision.
All right, decision. All right, Jack's got the decision. You just mentioned this man's name, Eric Wynn, out of Back to Basics, 1-1, taking on undefeated Mohawk martial arts, Eric Gomes, who's been making some waves at 55. Wow, big fight at the 55. This is our last amateur fight before we get to the amateur title fight. Great spot for this fight. Yeah, man. Andy, you've commentated all 4 of the fights between these two guys. What have you seen in the commentary?
Technical tacticians with different approaches to their techniques. They got different kinds of styles, but they're both good at gauging the distance, getting in and out of range where they're dangerous but out of danger. So I think that they're going to be playing a chess match on the feet until somebody conquers that range, and it could play out to be an intriguing fight that goes and stretches out because these guys look very composed and experienced as strikers, and only having a couple of fights in each.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting because we had Gomes on the show when he's talked about how he started off boxing, then he wrestled and all this stuff. And he's really a complete martial artist, you know, in all the areas. He goes to one gym for his boxing. He kind of does that, does his boxing here, his wrestling here, his MMA rounds here, kind of the traditional way. And then you got a guy like Eric Wynn, who trains at Back to Basics under Jeff Perez, and he kind of does everything in-house at that same place. And he's super well-rounded as well. You know, when you look back at Jeff Perez, like he was just a well-rounded fighter everywhere. You know, when you talked about Jeff Perez, it wasn't like he's a stud striker, he's a stud wrestler, he's a stud this. He was just a stud everywhere. Mm-hmm. So this is an interesting fight at so many levels. This is one of those fights that you see these two. When you see them on Fight Night, you're like, is this a pro fight? Like, yeah, that's the type of fight that this fight's going to be. It's going to be incredible. And make no mistake about it, Eder comes in with the undefeated record. But if you remember, you had mentioned it earlier, the Galati fight, that I've never heard the place so loud with boos when that decision was read. So a lot of people think Eric Wynn should be undefeated as well. It should be a banger of a fight.
Jack, you can go.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Eric. I was super impressed from what I've seen in the first 2 fights. Eder Gomes has looked great too. Don't get me wrong. He beat Colin Silva, who I train with at BTT, and looked really good doing it. You know, very smooth, very crisp on the feet. Southpaw, which can be tricky to deal with. But I just think Hune's, his length, his volume, his diversity with his kicks, and, he can grapple too. I think that well-roundedness is going to carry him. I mean, who knows? You know, we haven't really had to see Gomes grapple really much at all. He just he stopped Colin Silva's takedowns, which is impressive in and of itself because Colin's very strong and he can wrestle. But I think Hune will find a way to pull it out. I'm going to say this is going to go to decision. It'll be I think it's going to be a banger of a fight. But I'm just going to lean Hune.
All right. There we go. So decision for Hune, for Jack. All right, Miguel.
I'm gonna go with Eater Gomes.
Eater.
Eater? Isn't it Eater?
Hune and Eater. Win. Eric win.
Win.
Eder.
Win.
Eder.
Eater.
Oh.
Wow, we've reached the point where Polver's correcting pronunciation.
I used to call him Hune too, and then Andy's like, it's Win. And now
I didn't know what it was until Eric Wynn told me it was pronounced Win.
What did your name used to be?
Eater.
No.
But I used to
Oh. You said Miguel Sevasin. Yeah, it's Sevasin. And you called me that now. You called me that for years.
Well, like
to my face.
You never corrected me.
I felt uncomfortable at the time.
Now you tell me?
I was like,
the pronunciation Sevasin.
No.
I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Before I was like, oh, this is the big boss man. But now it's like, you know what? I want 1,500 to show.
Now we just say he's one of the boys. There you go. After all these, well, we don't know the next fight. We don't know how to pronounce this guy's name either. We beat him. So either way, Eater Gomes versus Eric Hune.
But
Eater Gomes.
We need Will Isaiah in here, so we could.
I used to call Will Asia, Will Isaiah.
Really?
Well,
And his name
you
is
just do that
spelled
just to mess with
Asia.
people?
no, I.
You just have to piss people off.
And I always say, I go, listen, I mispronounce. Well, when you read a name, like
Isaiah's the worst.
Ewan, like I'm like, it looks like Ewan to me.
So
It's,
like,
you know,
look,
it's-
yeah.
And I looked at Will, and I just didn't associate ASIA as
His
Asia.
name is literally spelled the same way as the continent,
Isaiah,
which is
Isaiah.
pronounced Asia. And
I
it's
was like
just
Isaiah.
Isaiah is like
Sevasin. I mean Sevasin.
I guess you're close. I guess I don't know. Everyone,
How do you pronounce my last name?
Polver.
I heard Polveri, you know, all kinds of weird shit.
Andy's got a tougher one.
Yeah,
Yeah, how do you pronounce
nobody
Andy's?
even fucking tries mine. I don't blame them. I don't even
Go ahead,
try mine.
give us Andy's. I got
You go first.
I know it.
Oh, I don't even know where to start with, brother.
That's all good. Starts with a K and then it's half the alphabet.
Kurzontowski.
That's not too far off.
Yeah?
That's not too far off.
Yeah?
You missed a K, but it's Kurzontowski.
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 Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kurzontowski, not Gronkowski. Kurzontowski.
I
But
got
in,
you.
in the old country, it's Kujankowski, or in court. That's what they say.
Now that we've gone on all that, let's get back to the pick on Eater Gomes.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of stand-up strikers, and obviously, because that's my style. So I hope that he puts him away in the third round TKO. That's what I'm gonna say. Eater. My
Eater.
boy Eater.
So third round TKO.
Yep.
All right, and he's another one that's not old enough to drink, so you'll be buying him a candy bar. All right, come on, Miguel. We're about halfway.
I
through.
know.
Why don't you take that?
I'm getting full.
Get that hot wing hot take. There's no full up here.
Wow, look at
Until
that.
someone
That thing looks like
sweats.
it's steaming.
Let's
We
go.
have our most viewers right now too, so this is a
Let's
perfect
see.
opportunity. Oh, he's going all in too. Is that the bullet?
Yeah, that's definitely it. That doesn't taste amazing. I mean, it's really spicy.
Jack raw dog it. No,
Yeah,
no blue cheese. You can't let him show you up. So those who
You look like you're gonna be sick.
No, I can't say I'm loving it.
Jack was mouth breathing for a minute. You ready?
He's
halfway
He's going through changes right now. His eyes are different.
So this is the Hot Wing Hot Take. We do this every fight week, and for this one, we put two hidden wings in there
Spiked a couple of.
that were we call them stupid hot here at Coop Bar and Grill. So we got two stupid hot wings, Jack got it about 3 or 4 fights ago. And the first fight, we're like, "Is that it?" And he goes, "Nah, this ain't it."
What was that?
You guys seen that before?
He said, "Nah, this isn't it." And then about 2 minutes later, Jack sniffling, touching his forehead. Oh man, is it that bad?
No,
Jack
you
took
can
it
have
kinda-
that.
No, Jack took it like a champ.
This is a guy who, like, you know, when we eat sushi,
Yeah.
you have like the
Wasabi.
spicy wasabi.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, do you want to like eat your whole wasabi whole? We'll do it together." And I was like, "You're not really gonna do that." He goes, "I will if you will." And I was like, "Okay." So we both put him out at the same time. I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
no!"
he spits it out.
Yeah,
He doesn't finish the job.
All right. What is that?
I need Big Mike. Pause.
Yeah.
No homo.
Can you see Jack Congdon saying that?
You're gonna get canceled about 10 years from now saying that. It's one time in a basement.
Yeah, poor dude.
And one.
So he ate it all in one, and then started like coughing and choking at the restaurant. I was like,
Oh, you took the whole wasabi?
"Yep."
He finished
Yeah,
the job. The objective was.
tears coming down. He was like making a scene. I was like,
We gotta get this side by side, Nick, of when Jack took the wing, he was just like, "Yeah, this ain't it," and then like
Miguel hasn't finished.
Miguel has no poker
Miguel
face.
has half of the wing left. He's like, "This
Jack
is
was
it."
like licking the sauce off his fingers. Oh,
Miguel's
man.
got a napkin.
All right, come on, man. You got to finish that wing, bro.
"Oh,
You know, Andy pointed it out.
that was weird."
He said that was
Andrew
weird.
said you guys are sus. Is it that hot? Is it noticeably hot?
Like very noticeably compared to the other ones.
You can see the sweat in his forehead. Of course it is.
It's coming out.
That's where you were 20 minutes ago, brother.
Yeah, Jack had like a little tear running down the side of his eye.
He's like, "Oh, this ain't it." Give him birth.
You all right there, buddy?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. They're used to this stuff.
That Puerto Rican.
That ain't wasabi.
I know.
This is hot. They're like that white people food. You can't.
I know.
Oh my God.
Anyways, moving on. We got our 10th and final fight of the undercard. It's a banger for the featherweight title. This belt's been held by many in the past top-level fighters that have gone on to great careers in the pro ranks. This time the vacant belt's up for grab. It is Fred Allen. We were just joking around.
Saphir.
We don't know how to pronounce last names until we meet him at
I'm
weigh-ins.
90% sure it's Saphir at this point.
Fred Allen Saphir, our New England Cartel. He's collected belts in other promotions, comes in with a 6-2 record, taking on Mr. Fight of the Year himself, Jake Kasky out of Dexter MMA. Jake Kasky called for the title, said anybody in New England can come get it. What makes me happy about this fight is that we've always talked about at Cage Science. You know, it doesn't matter if you sell tickets or whatever. We want the best of the best fighting for belts. It's not an award for the highest ticket seller like it has been for other promotions in the past. We got New Hampshire taking on Connecticut. They're meeting in Plymouth. This fight is truly the two best featherweights in New England, and they'll stake their claim to that. Whatever comes out on top, and they'll have a shiny Cage Titans belt to go with it. So
A lot of cardio, a lot of wrestling in the corner of Fred Allen Saphir. Same thing with the cardio, a lot of big power coming in the corner of Jake Kasky. It's going to be a firefight. This is the true best of the best in New England, hitting from all corners of New England, meeting in the middle.
Dude, my mouth is on fire right now. I'm like trying to pay attention. I'm all,
Yeah, it does linger.
It's killing me right now. I'm not
I'm not gonna lie. There you go.
Well,
So just to let you guys know, looking quickly at his record, with his 6-2 record, Fred has won the Combat Zone title. He's the Combat FC champion. So he's coming to collect belts, very much like Jorgen Castro in our main event later on in the night. But yeah, man, big fight. Since you're still trying to regroup, we'll go to Jack. How about Jack? You've seen Jake Kasky fight a bunch of times over at Cage Science.
Yeah.
All 5 of his fights with Cage Science he's
Yep.
fought. Plenty of guys 2 guys
Yeah, in the Emmys. Yeah, I mean, he's got a bunch of good names on that list. I haven't seen Cipher fight, I don't think. Yeah, and Kasky is just a dog, man. Like, he always brings the action. So with that being said, and his strength of schedule, granted, Cipher's coming with, belts too. Having seen Kasky fight, I'm going to roll with him.
All right, you're on Jake Kasky.
I'm going to go. Let's go 4th round TKO ground and pound. I think it's going to be a dog fight for sure.
And you're going with
Kasky.
Going with Kasky, all right.
What's going on, John Medina? John Medina will be talking about his fight later on, taking that fight, jumping in on a week's notice to take on Jacobo Opito, one of the shakeups that we mentioned earlier. So we got Jake Kasky, TKO.
Ooh, I'm a big fan of Jake Kasky, so I'm gonna go with Jake Kasky. I think he's gonna get done in the earlier rounds. He's a great wrestler. New England Cartel is usually pretty good for wrestling. I'm gonna say he stops all his takedowns and say he finishes him in the 2nd round. TKO.
So Kasky?
Yep, TKO.
All right. All right. But your analysis is that Fred's gonna stop all the takedowns.
No. I'm gonna say Jake Kasky's gonna stop all of Fred's takedowns.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Your boy Valdina back in the comments said Freddie's a savage.
Well,
No pun intended. Fred Savage. Do you guys get that?
He also
reference?
said we're subs.
yeah.
So you're saying his opinion is sus.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
He's actually our neighbor, so we know where he lives. So.
He's your neighbor?
yeah.
Yeah, him and Tyler live together.
Yeah.
Tyler Menard, you guys live.
Yeah, we
Must be
throw
the
football.
like
Throw
one
football.
street
You
over.
can hit him.
That's
Yeah.
like the toughest fucking block in,
no shit.
in all of New England. All right,
It's going to be up there for sure.
He likes that. Freddie is Savage. I don't know if are you guys too old? Do you know who Fred Savage is? No.
No, is that a movie?
Moving on. Yeah, never mind. All right, you guys are both going with Kasky. All right, one more time. I'm going to run down that fight card for the undercard. First fight of the night, Igor Zaltzman taking on Connor Holt. Second fight of the night, Cam Davis taking on Jared Sweet. Then we go to Henry Howe taking on Matt Martinez. Fourth fight of the night, Carter Whitty out of Regiment Training Center taking on Dalton English out of Bone MMA. Noah Shlama out of Santos BJJ taking on Anthony King, representing KO Gym. Then we got another Regiment Training Center guy, Hunter Brum, taking on Jake Callender out of Sidya Tong. Moving on to Ruben Bitar out of Back to Basics, taking on Eric Zane out of Dex MMA. Then we got a debut in Regiment Training Center's Jake Aruda, taking on Aiden Giuliani. Our ninth fight of the night, Eric Wynn out of Back to Basics, taking on undefeated Edgar Gomes out of Mohawk Martial Arts. And our 10th fight and our last fight of the undercard, Fred Allen Seifer out of New England Cartel taking on Jake Kasky out of Dexa MMA for the Cage Titans Featherweight Championship. And that concludes our undercard. Before we get to our 11th fight and our all-pro main card, Andy, I've done enough talking. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Ladies are starting
One day
things
here.
off.
Shane has got
Ladies
my
first.
reference. 1 2 years, way before you guys this time.
Oh, yeah. Ladies first, kicking things off at the pro card. Mary Rosenbeck taking on Christina Katsikas. Rosenbeck has fought, I forget the name of the promotion, Aries, I
Aries
believe,
fight.
Aries fight. So she's really tough. Likes to charge forward in the middle and piece her striking together. Not illiterate on the ground either. Happy to take it there and swing away with ground and pound. So she's a well-rounded fighter coming up from, I want to say, Tennessee. And Katsikas, who's been on the shelf for a couple of years now from MMA, has been staying active in the grappling realm. We know she's thrilled to get back in and jump back into the deep end of the division and make another run. So she's coming from South Shore Sport Fighting with that decorated grappling background. You know that's probably where she's going to want to take the fight, but she's willing to make it a dog fight no matter what. So.
Yeah, Mary Rosenblatt coming from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
All right, I was right. Tennessee.
There we go.
So I haven't seen either one of these girls fight before, but Christina, the meat grinder. I've seen her at a couple of jiu-jitsu tournaments. She mops the floor with everyone. So I'm gonna go with her. So South Shore girls and guys, just kill it on the ground. So I'm gonna say first round, TKO, like ground and pound.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I haven't seen Rosenbeck fight before. Cascus, yeah, good grappler, makes it ugly, right? Like with elbows and stuff. So I'm gonna say round 2 TKO ground and pound finish.
All right.
Did she fight in Bellator? Or she was gonna fight in Bellator? Oh, she
Right
did?
here. We get her record. She was in Bellator. She lost the fight in Bellator. Looking at Rosenbeck. Just you guys can do your own research as well. But Rosenbeck, she not only was a champion at Aries as an amateur, she defended her belt twice, which you don't see a lot of amateurs stick around.
Oh, wow.
Defending their belts a couple of times.
5th round finish. Wow.
Yeah, 5th round finish. So she's got some skills. She's obviously been a lot more active. She had 12 fights as an amateur. She's got 2 fights so far as a pro.
Wow. Very active.
But yeah, so this is
this is a tough fight.
It's gonna be a tremendous fight.
Yeah,
As you said, Katsikas, though she hasn't been super active, she did make her debut back in 2018, the same time roughly as the other girl. But Katsikas is three fights to the other girls, 14 fights in the same time frame. But you've seen her around. Katsikas, though she hasn't been fighting, she's been competing a ton in the jiu-jitsu realm, and she's mainly not fighting because it's so tough to find female fights. I always say heavyweights and female fights. If I never had to match either one of those weight classes or divisions, I'd be happy because it's just very slim. But whenever you do get a female fight or a heavyweight in this card, you get both of them. It is a treat. But you're both going with Katsikas, TKO. First round for Miguel, second round for Jack. There you go. Well, next up, Andy, go to it.
Jacobo Pito, John Medina. Jacobo Pito swinging back into the middle at Cage Titans. He made his return earlier this year, has been staying active since re-emerging to competition in mixed martial arts, and was originally slated to face off against Dan Shapiro for this card, but as you mentioned earlier, a shake-up there in stepping John Medina on short notice, who's fought for Cage Titans once against Joe Poirier back in the day, and this is going to be his second outing against someone who had a decorated amateur career who's looking to establish himself as a top-ranked pro.
Yeah, John Medina as well. Like, though that he has been away from cage fights for a little while, he's been dipping his feet in, the boxing realm. And really, that's kind of what he came. He kind of came in as a brawling boxer, and Poirier was able to expose the ground lacking. But Jacobo has skills everywhere. But make no mistake about it. He's not afraid to stand and trade with anybody. So should make this fight interesting.
I'm gonna go with Jacobo, just because I don't know much about John. I don't really know much about Jacobo either. So. That's just where my pick's gonna go.
Sauce still kicking?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought you were Puerto Rican.
Yeah, well, I'm also adopted.
So you're not Puerto Rican.
No, I am Puerto Rican, but I'm adopted to a nice white family, and my mom doesn't use much spice. So when I have this, I'm going to be tearing up the bathroom later. I'm not going to lie.
That's why I stayed away from the wings, man.
Oh, man. All right. Well, as we're getting low, I'm going to guess that
it's election day tomorrow. You're going to be hitting those booths with a different for us.
So just so you guys know, I'm assuming this one, if you guys are all guessing what I'm guessing, this might be a bullet one too. Or did you have another one in mind?
Is that one yours?
Well, these are infected because that's the sauce.
So my point I'm getting to is usually you guys are being gentlemen, deferring, like, I'll let you pick first this time. But as we get low, you might want to be like, I'm going first because you want to get the first pick of the wings, because eventually there's only going to be these two and this one left.
Have you still been eating? I think you've taken a couple of turns off.
I've been slacking on the wings.
Well, it's your turn.
I've been full.
So yeah, you can make it up by picking that one.
No, I'll make it up by taking this one.
Miguel, you're at a fight camp. We know you're balloon up. We can finish these wings, all right?
Gosh. Medina said, "Don't blink." He loves being the underdog, and listen, as from what I've gathered from Medina, he when he made his debut against Poirier, he's never had an amateur fight prior to that. Medina, he just jumped right into being a pro. And he's not one to back down scared. So I don't blink. He loved being an underdog. He's correct. He has no problem. He'll stand right in the center of the cage and stop throwing down. We got Miguel's pick. Let's go to Big Jack.
Yeah, I'm going to take a Capito too. Amateur champion, right?
2 weight classes, 25 and 35.
Yeah. So I'm going to roll with that. Hey, if you love being the underdog, you cash in, hit me up for a drink.
Yeah, there you go. So, John, I know you weren't here on the early of the show. If you get picked against by Jack or Miguel, and you win, you find them in the crowd, and your first drink will be on those guys. So, and again, no representation of Cage Titans. They're their own people. They're guests on the show. They're just giving their opinions to have a little bit of fun with this and eat some hot wings. There we go. Fighting back-to-back weekends. I don't know what that means. Maybe Mr. Kobo fighting back-to-back weekends.
I don't know. We don't know.
I don't know, but moving on. All right. Andy.
Aaron Giselle, Marty Navis.
You don't got to sell much of it, but
don't
sell
have
it.
to.
That's
all you really need to know. Aaron Giselle's fighting Marty Navis. They're going to dig their heels in and swing until someone takes an involuntary nap. They got a clash of styles that mimic each other. They both got heart. They're both fantastically skilled, and I think that it's just going to be a fucking barn burner from start to finish. That's all. That's all.
And Medina, just going real quick back, he said, get the Corona ready. He's a Corona drinker.
Are you going to have Corona there?
I'm going to have to now. We usually don't have Corona at the venue, but
at the tavern.
For you, we'll get you one. For you, we'll have some on ice for you. All right. Miguel, what do you got, man?
I mean, you kind of have to go with our teammate Marty.
I forgot to preface it.
Yeah. So, Marty's like a big brother in a sense. So, like, obviously, it's his last fight coming back. He's putting all into it. He took time off work and everything, ready to train in like 4 times a day. Like, this guy he's ready, man. So I'm super excited to see my buddy go out there and do his thing. So,
yeah, couldn't agree more. I think we're gonna get the best version of Marty that we've seen, and it's gonna be a great fight.
Marty Navis taking on Aaron Giselle. I know when I had the opportunity to match this fight up, I was like, this is just one of those fights. Like, Marty wasn't around. He wasn't on the radar. He officially retired. I think I have his retirement clothes over here. Our first ever in cage retirement from one of our fighters. I was quite shocked to get his name back in the rotation, and I think he must have been helping you guys prepare for fights, and then you kind of missed it. And then I had a chance to talk to him, and he just said, he was kind of upset with his performances, and he just kind of thought it was time to go. But he got the itch. But he has said, this is it. This is like really a retirement fight. Win or lose, like no matter what, this is it. He just felt like that last showing he had over a year or two ago wasn't the true him, and he wanted to give it the right send off. And it sounds like he's doing that. Training, and at least at the end of the day, he'll be able to say he put his all into this.
Yep.
If this is truly his last one, which he said, he goes, don't get any silly ideas. Like, I don't want to be that guy who retires and retires and retires. And that's what Aaron, this is a great fight. I mean, these guys, like somebody, like if you're a fan of Marty Navis, you're got to be a fan of Aaron Giselle if they weren't fighting each other, because they both have such similar styles. They just love to brawl and just throw down. They truly enjoy themselves in the cage. Like, fighting is just natural to both these guys. They really enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to this fight. No surprise that you both picked Marty. Again, teammates of these guys. So
but he's seeing all the work that he's put in. I've got no doubt that he's going to go out there and send things off the right way.
Nice. And I love how you mentioned bigger brother, because as you guys were coming up, he was kind of the pro making noise, especially at your division. Yeah. And then you guys kind of followed in his footsteps, and here you are as blossoming pros. All right, cool. Here we go. Andy, Luis Pena taking on Zach T. Sabatino.
Now we saw both of these guys out at Cage Titans 67, making the quick turnaround. Both of them going the distance, and both looking to jump back into the win column, with Pena coming off of that tough loss to John Simone, and D-Sab against Solo Hatley with that draw. Yeah, this is just a tough bounce back fight for both of them, which is just a testament to where they want to take their career and how they want to pursue it. They're looking for a tough bounce back fight after the last performances. The rangy and crafty jiu-jitsu of Luis Pena versus that dog that is Zach Sabatino, who's got his own crafty submission skills of his own. So did you take another bullet, Wing?
No, I dropped some on the table.
Honestly, this fight, both these guys came in last, and I just think that they both felt like they had more to show. You know, they weren't really exactly thrilled with their performances. You know, not that they were negative performances, just, you know, they just thought they had more to show, and they were ready to jump right back in it. You know, Luis Pena versus Zach Sabatino. I mean, we've seen a ton from Zach. Luis, we saw that. We've seen him on The Ultimate Fighter. We've seen he had 8 fights in the UFC. You know, and he wasn't a guy that just kind of got to the UFC. He had 2 fights and was cut. You know, he had a winning record. I think it was 5-2 or 5-3 in the UFC. A lot of fights. So we've seen these guys. We've seen firsthand Zach fight a lot. Luis Pena, we've seen his career, and then we got to see him at the last cage fight. But yeah, Luis Pena versus Zach Sabatino.
I'm gonna go with Luis Pena. Pena. I just because I was a fan of him when he was in the UFC. I watched a good amount of his UFC fights. I think this is Zach's toughest fight he's ever had. You know, in my perspective, but I think it'll be a really good fight. And if Zach wins, like that's very impressive around the local scene and everything. So I mean, good for him. But I really think that Luis might get a second round TKO.
All right, there we go. Going with Luis Pena.
I'm going to take Pena too.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, just that high level experience in, you know, the biggest fight organization in the world. It's tough to balance out against. You know, Zach's tough. I think it'll be a good fight. I'll go decision.
All right, decision. Both going not with the hometown guy, going with Luis Pena with his UFC experience and all that. Luis Pena versus Zach Sabatino. Saul, we got a question for you. The hot wings were a hot hit. How many stupid hots were there?
2 of them.
2. All right.
So we're through it.
So you already threw it. So Jack got the first one, and we go, "Oh, is that the hot one?" He goes, "I don't think so." And about a couple minutes later, he started sweating, wiping his nose. He's coughing. Miguel, even though he's Puerto Rican, he said he couldn't handle the spice.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hot.
I tried to color because it's a little dark on it.
Yeah.
Little extra buffalo sauce on top, so you guys don't.
Pull that shit again, you're fired.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, so you guys are in the clear. But as Jack has pointed out, there's some of the extra hot, the stupid hot. So these ones are infected. So these are going to be, they're the ones they don't want to pick.
Just try it, Mike.
Nope. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. Maybe next time. They're here as the hot wing guys, not me. So there you go. All right, cool.
He'll turn into a friggin' tomato.
So you're in the clear, guys. You're in the clear. Maybe. He had to take a few times. He only had half the wing, and then he had to put it down and took a couple off.
It's not best on the first bite, right? You have to keep eating so you can test the spicy one.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like, I got it at first. I'm like, oh, it's not that different from the other ones. And then it started picking up.
Oh, yeah, it's like covered with the extra buffalo sauce on top.
Yeah.
It's extra hot for you guys. There you go. Well, thank you, Saul. Come on down to Coops. Get some wings for yourself and all the other good food here at Coops. So thank you so much, Saul. All right, next up, we got Tom Santo coming to us from Brazil. Flying in. I think he flies in. What's tonight? Monday. He flies in tomorrow. Thank you so much, Saul.
Appreciate it.
So
brother.
Tom Santos flying in from Brazil. He's fought all over the world, Japan, everywhere.
And
He's got a ton of experience.
And he's that first Cage Titans win has eluded him. He's fought the toughest of the tough at 155 pounds. Peter Barrett, Zach Sabatino, you just to name a few. Just how at the top of the echelon of the division he is dived into, and it's no different this time around. Answering the call to Don Shanis, former UFC veteran, so he's jumping right back into the deep end of the division and looking for that quality win in Plymouth, Massachusetts that he's gotten in all corners of the world with his big power. And Don Shanis looking to keep that momentum going off of his last win over Jerry Muse, where it was a tough, hard-fought decision
Great
that
fight.
went 3 rounds, back and forth action where he was able to showcase his chin, his power, his tactics, how versatile he is with the striking, and how well-rounded he is. Could be a tremendous night for either men, whoever decides to show up.
Yeah, man, this fight is going to be incredible. You know, Tom Santos, no stranger, taking on UFC vets. He's fought. This is his second UFC vet he's fought in Cage Titans. Never mind guys like Darren Krushenk. You know, who he went to. He went to a decision with Krushenk, right? Yeah, he went to a decision with Krushenk. But actually, this is a good opportunity for me to plug. Unfortunately, Tom Santos's corner isn't able to now come with him, so he is looking for some help in his corner on fight night. So if you speak Portuguese and you want to help out in Tom Santos's corner, we're looking for, you know, he's looking for a little bit of help. So maybe the Cage Sides community, somebody can reach out to me and let me know. I can kind of put you in contact with him and help him out. I mean, we have hand wrappers and stuff like that. We have a cut man, but if somebody doesn't have to be Brazilian, but a fellow Brazilian,
Right there. There's your boy.
there you go. You get it.
You speak Portuguese?
Yeah.
I'm learning. So my girlfriend's Brazilian. So I've been learning for a little while now.
Ooh, some brownie points. Be like, hey, I cornered a fellow countryman.
Yeah, I don't know if I know enough in terms of like fight specific, you know, words and like putting that into like fight advice
you
that
got
quickly.
6 days to learn.
I got 6 days, but I also got 60 seconds to get it out to him. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah.
He's got the little translation book in the
Duolingo. There's me and you in the back.
Phonics.
Duolingo. Translator stuff.
But on a serious note, anybody out there, actually, literally, as we're on here,
Isn't he called Bruno?
I think Bruno. Usually Bruno Jacare Diaz. He helps corner him the 2 times he's been in town, but he's not available this time. And so yeah, so if anybody's available, we're looking to help out Tom Santos. So there you go, Tom Santos taking on Don Shanis.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Don Shanis. I mean, I go with the local guy. I think that Don takes him down in the first round. He's been working a syndicate, and you know, those guys in the syndicate are killers. We've trained there once when we went to Las Vegas, and then those guys are really, really good. So I'm sure he's getting his grappling in. I bet you takes him down the first round and TKOs him.
Okay, there we go. First round TKO.
I'm going to take Shanis too. Yeah, I think he'll get him down.
Definitely not cornering Santos.
Yeah, I think he gets him down. I'll say round 2 TKO.
All right, 2 TKO. All right, there we go. Now, next up, we're at our co-main event. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save this one, and I'm going to eat that one. And I will wipe it into that hot sauce.
Oh,
just
there
I
you
can
go.
feel the effects.
And no blue cheese.
But I'll do that at the last fight. No, I don't. Blue cheese is disgusting.
What?
Agreed.
I
What?
wouldn't-
Yeah.
I would not eat that.
Blue cheese with wings to go fuck your mother.
You're definitely white.
That's Joe Diaz's line. You got to give credit where credit's due. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes the wing.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, our co-main event of the night, Chris Motino out of the New England Cartel taking on Johnny Cupcakes Campbell. The minute this fight was announced, people have been ecstatic about it. This is an incredible fight. They fought once before. Johnny Cupcakes was the victor. I think that was, 5 years ago?
Yep, 2019.
5 years ago they met. It's one that Chris is, wanted to get back. The opportunity's now. So yeah, man, this fight's gonna be insane. Chris Motino, these guys, I don't gotta talk about their experience. If you've been around the New England scene or the worldwide scene, you've seen Motino. You've been in the New England scene as well. You've seen Cupcakes. Mr. Cage Titans, he has the record for the most Cage Titans fight, 26 fights. He's fought on Cage Titans 1 all the way up, still fighting here at Cage Titans 68. So you've seen them all. Chris Motino, the first ever champ of Cage Titans. Probably will ever be the only person to ever win 3 belts. He won 25, 35, 45. He actually competed against and went to a draw with Don Shanis for the amateur title. He's had his insane career, and he's still in his prime at 32 years old. And Johnny Cupcakes is looking to show, I think he felt like the first time people thought it might have been a fluke or whatever, and he's just like, he's looking to kind of shut that up. even though it was 5 years later. It's going to be an incredible fight.
Yeah, a rematch a long time coming. The opportunity came for both guys to get a big accomplishment under the belt. You know, Chris wants to get this one back, and Johnny wants to get back into the winning ways against a top-tier name, and it's a tremendous co-main event. They're both legends whose reputations precede themselves, and rightfully so. They've both put in a tremendous body of work and can't miss action no matter where they're fighting. So it's going to be an honor to sit cage side and call this fight, and I'm just hoping it's going to be a good one, which it obviously is going to be because they both like to serve the blood gods. So
Serve the blood gods. I like it.
You can go pick.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an absolute banger of a fight. Both guys always just come forward and bring the action, like you said, Andy. You know, it's tough because, you know, it's been 5 years since the first fight, right? And so, you know, there's been a lot of experience by both of them. You know, Moutinho went on to the UFC. You know, Cupcakes has had some super high-level fights in Bellator and some other high-level organizations. Yeah, it's going to be a banger. You know, given that Cupcakes won the first one, I'm going to take him again in this second one. But I think this one will go to the decision.
All right, decision.
Wow.
All right, Miguel.
I thought we were going to choose different people, but I'm going to go with Cupcakes too. I'm a big fan of Cupcakes, so, you know, it's tough not to pick them. So nothing wrong with Chris Moutinho. I think he's a great fighter too. You know, went in the UFC and everything, fought Sean O'Malley, you know, but I think part of me just wants Cupcakes to win. And I'm going to say third round, ground and pound.
All right, TKO.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. There you go. Your picks for was the last one, third or five. The last time I fought was a 3-round fight, and Johnny won the second round. Yeah. TKO in the second round. So there you go. There's your picks for the co-main event. And this card, this is the card that's like, wait a minute, there's even more fights. You know, we talk about that when we're talking about the amateur card portion of the card, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's not the main event. You know, there's more fights. And our last one of the night, all the big boys, we're rolling them out. Jorgen De Castro, he's fought everywhere, PFL, UFC, Eagle FC. He has 2 other regional titles, I think an NEF champ, the CES champ. He's looking to collect the 3rd belt here in New England as he takes on champion Joshua Marsh. Joshua Marsh coming up to us from Florida, if you remember him, won that heavyweight title in devastating fashion by knocking out Ross Hilton, broke his orbital, you know, multiple spots. It was an insane power he had. Heavyweights have that type of power. Jorgen especially has that power as well. But yeah, man, this fight is incredible. Andy, what do you got for us?
Don't blink. It's the heavyweight championship. Yeah, didn't want to blink the last time that this belt was up for grabs, and you never want to blink when the heavyweights are in there. Joshua Marsh proved that he's got big powers last time out. Jorgen De Castro has never held that secret back. Both guys like to throw heavy leather. They both have versatile, well-rounded skill sets that vary from kickboxing to wrestling to grappling pedigrees, counter grappling. You're in for a truly, truly high-caliber heavyweight championship fight here at Cage Titan 68, capping off the year in biggest fashion possible.
How do you cap our biggest year to date?
Shit.
The biggest fight we can make.
I got other pens. Don't worry about it.
All right. Miguel, he went first last time. You're up, bro.
I'm going to go with Jorgen De Castro, just because this is like 5th fight this year. You know, I think he wants to end his last one. He came up short, but this one, I think he's hungry. He's ready to get back in there. You know, he's going to go out there, and I'm going to say he's going to leg TKO, leg kicks.
Leg kick?
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty damn specific.
Yep, he's going to bring those back. He's going to leg kick TKO.
Okay.
I'm going to take Jorgen too. Yeah, I mean, I just think all that experience at that higher level just will pay dividends here. I think he might be the slightly bigger guy too. And yeah, I think I'll say first round KO because that's just the nature of heavyweights. You know, when when Jorgen's on and he gets to the action quick, he can put the hurt on guys real early into the fight. So I'm gonna say that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Toby Pimentel's in the comments. Someone's getting knocked the fuck out. That's his prediction.
Yeah.
Leg kicks. I like
You guys didn't disagree with each other once on the main card.
Every pro fight, you pick the same.
You guys are roommates or something.
Yeah.
You're in each other. They only picked the difference
A couple times.
3 fights.
Yeah, that's about it. You guys are
Yeah, 3 fights you picked different.
wow. It's like you guys are
Living
training
together.
partners. Yeah,
Yeah, living together.
training together, eating, sleeping, breathing. Just you guys just. It's
So we all
I
talked.
like the wing a lot better though.
You did,
Yeah, you
definitely.
did. You did.
Wing a lot better. And you're still trying to baby out of the wings. And I'm going to do a wing with you.
Yeah,
at the end.
I
Hey,
can't
do
eat
you want to
anymore.
partake in the hottest wing?
Yeah.
fuck it. Let's go.
All right, here
Yeah.
we go. Well, I'll take one wing together, and I'll even go like this. Get a little extra of that devil sauce. What did you call it? The blood gods?
Yeah, serve the blood gods. I'm not. I'm just gonna go with a little.
There
That's
you go.
it. Tiny
I'll get-
serving.
I'll
of
get a
the-
With a little blue cheese.
Oh, Jack with the slice.
Yeah.
I don't want blue cheese. Well, cheers, cheers everybody to the hot wing hot
It's
take
blue
show.
cheese. It's blue cheese with wings.
There we
Go
go.
fuck your mother. All right.
I haven't had this hot one yet, so.
That does have a different kick. It's got a different kick.
Yeah.
I have buffalo sauce.
I think it's okay.
I definitely
I
have
know
buffalo
you mean, 'cause
sauce.
I almost was gonna hold the Jack and go.
No.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
Now I'm like,
No.
It
That
takes a couple seconds.
oh, it kicks in, man. That's like
it definitely does. And then you think if you take another bite, maybe it'll make it go a little easier.
no. It might fucking work. It's not even close. I didn't put a little tip. Ah.
My mouth was tingling for like 3 calls. I was like,
Mikey, it was not the same without you.
It does keep getting worse. Jesus Christ.
Toby said, comment of the night so far. Your work bathroom was a fuck tomorrow.
Over.
All right. I love Jack. Also, like the difference in them eating. Jack, nice, couple nicely stacked, couple napkins. You did this all with one napkin.
That is really impressive. I don't know how you did that. I need to see you
Hey,
licking
you
your
see his
fingers.
pant leg.
Yeah, stand up, Miguel.
no, that's okay. The camera's from the waist up.
So, Mikey, we put a little twist on the hot wing hot take. So, for those who don't know, Big Mikey Da Silva was the originator of it's Big Mikey's hot wing hot take. He was the originator, probably 5 years ago. Came on the show every fight week and would do wings. He would do a 30 wing sampler, and he would just eat wings, and he would get all different flavors. He actually is commenting, y'all didn't get lemon pepper. For this hot wing hot take, what we did, Mikey, is we did all buffalo, and then we had the kitchen come up with a stupid hot sauce, and there were 2 hidden in there as stupid hot, and we didn't tell either guy which one they were. Each of them found one. I'm actually sweating now too.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
Holy shit.
It's still picking up.
Yeah, it's definitely, and I get on my bald head. It's probably getting shinier even now.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Oh, yeah.
It's starting to blind.
You're
Yeah.
glistening.
Yeah.
You're glistening.
Definitely glistening and sweating. So that's what we did for this hot wing hot take, Mikey. But we got all the picks locked. Miguel is in the commentary booth doing the Miguel Mother F'n Minute. So unfortunately, if he picked against you, you're gonna have to see Jack for your beer. So yeah, Mikey said he'll decline. So he said he's Puerto Rican. They like spices. Brazilian, Mikey. Don't Brazilians like spice too?
Yeah, they do. They love that
He
stuff.
doesn't. He's not a hot wing. He's not a hot wing guy. He's not really a hot wing. But either way,
Big Mikey ain't.
he said
He likes the lemon pepper.
Yeah, he's a lemon pepper guy. But either way, we got all our fights locked in. Before I let you guys go and before we say goodbye, I need 2 picks from you guys. I'll go to Jack first, then I'll go to you. First, the not including your teammate. I think we talked about this off air. We did this off air before, but the one fight that you're looking forward to most, not including one of your teammates.
All right, not including teammates. I'm really curious about Win and Eder Gomes. I got to write that down.
Eric Wynn
Yep.
and Eder Gomes.
Both guys are really on the rise. Both very talented. Both very young, and looking forward to see how that one plays out.
All right. What about you, Miguel?
So I have like two that are tied, but I'll say my second one because you guys already know my first one. So Cupcakes and Chris Matino is one I'm really looking forward to.
All right.
So
perfect. And maybe this will help you out because I got one more question for you. One fight that's on the card that maybe people aren't, not you guys, but maybe people aren't talking about enough that you think at the end of Cage Titan 68, people are gonna be like, remember that fight. Did I phrase that right? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Something that's like kind of maybe the dark, would they call that a dark horse? Like, you know?
yeah.
Like one that's like not like, because obviously you got Motino and Cupcakes, and
Yeah.
you got the Navis and
Right.
Dressel and Jorgen and the
I'm gonna
heavyweight fights.
say-
You got the other title fight with Kasky and Seifer. Like those are fights that people know are going to be bangers. What's one that's kind of sliding under the radar? That's like Monday morning, we're all going to be like, dude, that fucking fight. We weren't even on our radar.
I'm gonna say Hunter Brum versus Jake Callender. I say Hunter beats him, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, he just beat a guy that was 2-0, making a splash on the scene." And I think Hunter beats out flying colors.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that pick. I got it.
I'm going to go with Matt Martinez and Henry Howe. Martinez has fought a bunch of times. I think he was scheduled to fight a couple of cards back, and he was like one of the last cards on, or the last fights on the prelim section. He's definitely, shown a lot of high level ability, and I'm sure that Henry coming out of NESF is going to be able to deliver a good fight. So even though, we're coming in, we don't really know anything about him.
You trained there when you were going to UMass?
Yeah.
So you're familiar with the school?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, well, there you have it. There's the boys' picks for sleeper fight of the night, I guess you could call it, and fight of the night in their opinion that they're most looking forward to. I don't got much for you guys. Tickets are still on sale. Don't wait to the last minute. Get your tickets early. As you know, it's just not a promotional pitch to you guys. Tickets sell out, as you guys all know, and you don't want to be outside looking in on fight night. So make sure you hit up your favorite fighter early. They get a percentage of the ticket sales. I say it all the time. If you can get in touch with a fighter and connect with a fighter, get your tickets through them. And if not, you can always go to CageTitansFC.com to get your tickets. But do not wait. I know online we're already sold out of upper balcony, mezzanine, and front row. I think the only tickets are floor seats. All 4 VIP stage booths are sold out. There's only 2 mezzanine booths left. So tickets are pretty insane right now, especially with this type of card. Besides that, if you can't make it and you're one of our out-of-state fans, Spectation Sports got you covered. Spectation Sports is the only place to stream Cage Titan 68. It'll be live that night. Don't fall for any scam links. Don't click links that are in the comments. SpectationSports.com or CageTitansFC.com is the only place to get the stream. Probably starting tomorrow, you'll start seeing the stream coming out from the fighters. Another way for our fighters to make money. I like to always push this as well. Unlike many other promotions locally, fighters have an opportunity to make money through the stream as well. So Spectation gives a percentage back to all the sales to the fighters as well. So you'll start seeing the fighters promo codes come out in the next couple of days. It's usually their last name, all caps. So make sure you put your favorite fighter's last name in the promo code when you're checking out if you are getting the stream, because they'll get money for that. So another opportunity for them to get some revenue. That's it, man. Follow us on all social media, Cage Titans across the boards. I got nothing. What do you got, Miguel? Floor is yours. What do you got for us?
Good luck, guys. On your fights. Don't come nut tap me if you win because I don't want that. So.
I had a message for him.
What?
I have a message for me.
I'm not saying that. So yeah.
You got nothing for us?
What am I saying? You put me on the spot.
Jack said you had a message. You had a message.
I don't know if you guys are looking for somebody to vote for tomorrow. Vote for me, okay, for president. I'll make you laugh. This is my vice president. So, yeah.
That'd be your vice president. So write in Miguel Sevasin.
Yeah.
I'm serious now. Tomorrow is voting day, right?
That's
election day.
Election.
So get out there and vote no matter who you vote for. We don't care. We don't need to talk about it. But if you're gonna write somebody in, write in Miguel Sevasin.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Just get along. Be adults. That's all I give a shit about.
Jack, anything for us?
Just stoked for Saturday. Can't wait to see it. We got a ton of good fights. Cool to be here. A lot of fun. And Saturday's going to be even better.
There you go. And we'll see you guys back in January, maybe in the cage.
That's the aim.
Yeah, let's go. There we go.
It's
Andy.
fight week, baby. It's the most wonderful time of the year for Christmas, for Thanksgiving. It's Cage Titans 68. This is the real holiday season. This is how to close out the year. I'm so stoked. It's been a great year, and this event is going to be the cherry on top with the chocolate syrup, and it's awesome. I can't wait. All the fights are bangers, and the festivities are just so fun. Can't wait to see everybody. Can't wait to feel the energy of Memorial Hall. It is the drug that I only get 6 times a year, so I'm really looking forward to it. And it's been awesome. Thanks for everybody for tuning in and listening to us degenerates talk about violence for almost 2 hours. I'm sweating from the wings, and yeah, some toilet's going to be really mad at me over the next couple of days. That's all I know right now. But for now, it's fight week, and we're ready to go. We'll see you in Memorial Hall on Saturday.
Later, guys.
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's